Hello and welcome back to the channel. We have just gotten a brand new episode of Doctor Who Series 14/1, who knows. Anyway, it's episode 3 titled Boom, directed by Stephen Moffat. But I've got two brand new guests with me, or returning guests with me. We've got Brooke and Pat. Say hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
Hello.
But yeah, I'm especially excited for today's episode. It's actually directed by Stephen Moffat, who, as many of you know or may not know, directed pretty much all of 11 and 12, with the exception of the odd couple of episodes, and I think introduced a few things within Tennant's and Eccleston's run, although I'm not entirely sure exactly what episodes he's had direct involvement in. But that's enough from me. I think we should get into the newest episode of Doctor Who. Is that a priest?
The church.
I think we might be seeing the Church of the... Was it the Church of Collective? Or Church of something that we saw in a few arcs of 11.
Yeah, I think we first meet them in the Byzantium.
Also, I'm not sure if either of you have noticed, I think Doctor Who has severely improved with the Disney Plus budgeting.
I love it and hate it at the same time because I'm like, I need the like really campy shit, but it's still there. It still has its presence.
Oh,
Yeah, it
no,
did have a...
Is that
I was about to say...
from Andor?
Yeah, because she's confirmed to be returning as like companion in season 2.
But maybe this is her first episode.
We're adding another companion, or I don't know if we'll be adding her as a companion yet, because I would have thought they would have announced that already. But
No, I mean, but like we saw Martha, even though it was Martha's cousin or whatever. It was retconned or whatever to bring her back later. So I don't know.
may well be, yeah.
I have to see the eyes.
Ooh.
Mine.
Oh.
The ambulance kills people.
Oh. Someone's in trouble. Also, the outfits this season.
The fits are.
I'm loving that the Doctor is taking advantage of the closet.
Absolutely.
More than once.
Ooh. Yep,
Oop.
no. Or maybe you only get killed on the mine if both of your feet are on contact of it. Because otherwise, I would assume he'd be zapped.
Yeah, because the guy zapped really fast.
Hmm.
Sounded like he was singing the theme song from Outlander, which is like, I think, an actual song.
Yeah.
And
It's
it'd be
BBC
great
as
if
well, Outlander.
It's
Netflix.
And there's that
Showtime. Showtime? One of those. This reminds me of that episode of Grey's Anatomy where Meredith Grey accidentally puts her hand on a bomb and can't move inside like the surgery room.
Yeah.
So same vibes as that.
I can see that. Yeah, I've not even seen it, but I'm getting them. I like how he's just on a landmine going, yeah, no, lovely view, good trees.
Dang on land, but here's the history of his planet.
Very.
I feel like
very
that describes. Yeah, I was gonna say that describes the Doctor though. Like he could be in like mortal peril and it's still like, I'm gonna make sure that my companion has the best day of her life.
Literally, you know the image of like the meme of the dog in the house on fire, just going, "This is fine." It's the Doctor on a permanent basis.
I like holding on to it, but it's now more gingerly. But she hasn't dropped it.
She's just moved her grip slowly to the bit that's not looking like flesh.
One thing I've noticed about this Doctor is like early on with his companions, he tells them like, "You listen to me and then you do what I say." He hasn't in my rules. He hasn't given her rules or say do this. It's more like so much more casual and open.
Yeah. I imagine that's the whole kind of side effect of him being a lot more emotionally kind of stable than the previous Doctors.
very long time. Hey, John.
Surely they should carry those with those requests rather than just going, leaving the battlefield.
I know, the first like episode came out and everyone was like, the doctor's too happy. Everything's too happy. Where's the Dark Doctor? Here you go, everybody.
I call it's the corporation that made up an enemy.
I think you might have a point. Well, I'm glad it's a device where it's not just like the Sonic will save you instantly. It's nice to have something that the Sonic doesn't work on, or at least where the Sonic can't be used. I like how there's the mix of running away with the gun and blasting, and then like, this one we went to the zoo. Ah.
No. Pardon?
Going on with this episode, it's
We don't actually know.
snow. It's snowing.
Oh.
It doesn't snow here.
I don't think I've watched a Doctor Who episode with this much stakes in a while.
And the scene hasn't shifted. It's just all
Ruby.
this one
We're doing
confined area.
Reconfiguring the ambulance.
It's the second reference we've had this season of the Doctor being a dad, so...
To the end.
I love how they're bringing up his family more and more.
Dad to dad. Of course, I like you.
There we go.
Everyone knows I like you. Except
I am loving this episode.
I mean, it was on as up I thought you could have won.
Oh, you muppet.
What is happening?
He's dead.
Oh no.
Oh.
What the heck?
No.
My designated favorite. Oh.
Just for you.
What?
If anything happens to me, you don't love me back.
Oh, come on, dude.
Fuck you, Stephen Moffat.
There's a firewall.
Death by ambulance is not what I had on the cards for this week.
I love how it's thoughts and prayers too. I think
Yeah.
I love it when I.
Angela, I saw. Angela, we saw. Kiss. Kiss.
Hey, you still there?
Hey.
Kiss, kiss.
What a troll!
One John
For real.
Francis.
Still holding the dead man in his hand.
Your father, who art in heaven.
Pointing at the dead man.
Kind of heaven anyway.
Angela, do your teeth, Angela.
Oh my god.
The whole.
I thought he'd say basically run into it, and I was gonna say, is that an 11th Doctor reference?
Right, enough of that. Moving on. Come on, Ruby.
No, hang on, we've got like 2 minutes. Awesome.
Yeah, 2 minutes. No lingering. Plenty more you.
Friends. And he's gonna see her again.
Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. I will be popping
Because
in.
we already
Now
know.
then, fish fingers and custard is my favorite. Okay. come on, Ruby.
Yes.
Yes. I'll rush off like this, but he probably needs changing.
That's right. We know Stephen Moffat's writing now. We know he's writing now. Return of the fish fingers and custard.
Bitch, I'm back. We're so back.
Oh. Snowflake. Alright, what's next week?
We are in Wales! Spectacular!
Is she?
He's dressed like Paddington Bear.
Where's the doctor?
The goat.
Woman following me.
Who is she?
I don't know.
What the hell have you done?
So, that was Boom. Impressed. Very, very impressed. What did you guys think?
It's one of the best ones so far,
Absolutely.
in my opinion.
Like,
I liked it a lot.
yeah. I think as well, the way... This is Doctor Who. You've got endless possibilities, yet they somehow managed to write an episode where, as Pat said, like, kind of throughout, they were in this one pit the entire episode. And they didn't need to leave it. And yet they explored a lot of different things within that one area. And I didn't at any point think, this is slow-paced, this is dull, this is boring. because there were constant stakes. If anything, there were stakes higher than your average Doctor Who episode, and it didn't even really go anywhere. Like, it was impressive. Oh, it's just on the reaction bubble. I've just
I agree with you.
yeah, I agree with me. This episode was really good. There we go. Clearly a very good episode. Otherwise, there would be no fireworks. But I'm excited to see if Stephen Moffat returns for any more episodes. Because that was really good. Not that I want him to do like the rest of Doctor Who. It was a nice change up. We've still got this mystery around Ruby Sunday, and you guys weren't around for the first 2 episodes, so I wanted to kind of hear your guys' thoughts from what I discussed on the previous one with me and Johnny, Marvelous Jonathan. We think that Ruby is like the child of the one who waits, or something like that. Or if you're more or less on the same kind of page in the sense that we'll find out eventually.
I have no idea.
You know, I've had several theories.
Oh yeah.
In my head. Yeah. So I think I'm pretty much when it comes to Ruby, I'm pretty much set that like where you and Johnny are, that she's a child of the one who wait, or like a child of of the Legion.
Of the Pantheon, yeah.
Yeah, but one of the things that like spin in my head is like, what if the Timeless Child and the Eldest are the same person, and that makes the Doctor part of the Pantheon? And what if they keep playing it around that he's a dad, that he's a family, and we know that the Tennant had a child out there. What if Ruby is a daughter of the Eldest, and before the Doctor became the Timeless?
That's possible.
Why they keep this. It's just like something like, because you keep honing in that like he is a father, that he has a family.
No, you're right.
It's just a theme that they've talked throughout Doctor Who, but they've never played into the fact that he's a family man.
I mean, I think a lot of that I actually haven't seen that theory, because I've seen a few circulating. One of the ones that I've liked the most, I don't know if either of you are familiar with the Sarah Jane Adventures at all. It was a spin-off of Doctor Who with Sarah Jane, to no surprise. It was released in the UK. I think it was on CBBC, which is like I don't really know how to equate it to something in the States, like kids BBC. So that explored, there's a character in there called the Trickster, and the musical cue in which Ruby sings the first one of in the second episode, the one that sounds a little bit like Siren Song, is eerily similar to the theme for the Trickster. Like, it's almost identical, which is one of the things that's been picked up by a couple of theories that I think Johnny did end up sending me. But anyway, that's kind of the whole Ruby Sunday thing. I really like it because it's giving off a lot of kind of like Impossible Girl, Clara kind of vibes with how it feels, and I was a really, really big fan of that arc in the series, and how that kind of how that kind of came to an end and ran its course. But yeah, if you know what, I'm going to start a new thing with these Doctor Who reactions. If you were to rate this episode out of 10, what would you give it, and what was your favourite moment? We'll start with Pat. Rating out of 10 and favourite moment, mate.
I'm going to be basically 10 out of 10 for me.
Oh, okay.
Because my favorite moment is that they kept in the same pit. They kept in the pit. They didn't do scene change. There was no thing, that all this tension, everything happened in this crater, and I think that shows a fantastic amount of writing on part of the actors, and fantastic amount of work on part of the actors and of the writers, that they're able to tell this complex story, this high stakes story, for the Doctor and as a character, without having to have some giant alien monster that they're running from.
Spot on, mate. That's a pretty good way of recapping it. Brooke, rating out of 10 and favourite moment.
I give it a solid 8 or 9. I really liked the episode, but like what really just stands out to me, and it just stood out to me this entire, the 3 episodes and the special that we got with 15, is just his chemistry with like the Doctor, and Ruby's chemistry is so good. And like my favorite companions are 12 and Clara, and they give me similar vibes, like very familial. like from the start, and their chemistry like is just so amazing. And like Shurigawa is an amazing fucking actor. Like he did not move from that landmine for the hour 45-minute episode and had an outstanding performance. And he's like so magnetic. Like I couldn't like pay attention to anyone else other than him on the screen.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I think Shooty has really stood out to me as well so far. And I like what you mentioned with 12 and Clara, because I kind of see it as well. But yeah, spot on. I completely agree with you there. Not to copy your ranking, Brooke, but I'd probably give it as well 8 or 9 out of 10. Well, I only don't give it a 10 because 10 to me means perfect favorite episode of Doctor Who ever, and I can't give that out just yet.
I think I mean, even though we still have a lot of season to go, I think this is gonna be one of my favorites for this season, and it hit me really deep.
Understandable, man. Understandable, man. There were a lot of really good moments. For me, favorite moment, I think just the whole kind of breakdown of you're fighting yourselves. It gave me, it also, not to relate it to Star Wars, Umbara made me think of Umbara, the whole fighting themselves thing. But although it's slightly different because they're kind of fighting, it's slightly different. But yeah, but
Fighting
overall,
capitalism.
really good. Fighting capitalism. It's one thing to call the Republic. But yeah, it was a really good episode all in all, and I'm interested to see the next one. It looks like it's got some kind of horror-y aspects that I'm very here for, because I think Doctor Who can be at its best with a good scary episode. A good scary episode a season is the best way to have Doctor Who. But if that is all everyone has to... Oh! We didn't even talk about it. The new companion. Because it's going to annoy me, I don't know her name. I think...
It is Varada Sethu. I don't know if I'm saying
Varada
it
Sethu.
correctly.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm so glad to see her.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, she has been confirmed to be returning as a companion for the second season. There's even been some leaked set photos of season 2 already, which is mental to me. They're already producing and filming season 2 before season 1's even aired. But you can see pictures of them and the Doctor just about. So they will return at some point, whether or not it will be the same person or it will be the same actor just playing a different person. Who knows? But it's interesting that we got her in this episode. I'm assuming it's going to be the same person, given how close these two series are and how they're already working on it and they've only just introduced. To me, that can't feel not planned. But I think that will be all, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for this reactions. Thank you all very, very much for watching. Please be sure to go check out Pat and Brooke. I will be linking all of their links in the description of the video, so I would really appreciate it if you would go check them out. I do believe that Brooke has just started a podcast with it's with Sawyer, isn't it? My brain completely... I'm so sorry. My brain completely blanked. So you should go check that out as well, and I will also have that linked in the description of the video. I believe the first episode aired a couple days before the recording of this, something like that. Mm-hmm. So be sure to go check that out. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that will be all for this video. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you next week for the next episode of Doctor Who.